What's going on, investors? My name's Emmanuel and I apologize. I actually had to re-record this video because the company that I'm speaking about today made a massive change to the investor presentation figures literally overnight, completely doctoring the figures in the space of just 24 hours. And it's completely shocking that they have not notified investors on their investor relation page, because investors have actually made investing decisions. They've parted with their money in this company based on the previous figures. So if you have invested in Romeo Power, ticker symbol is RMG, then you need to pay close attention to this video because there are a ton of red flags. And in my opinion, this is a very sketchy company. But with the state of the current EV space SPAC euphoria right now, there could also, and you know me guys, there could also be a ton of opportunity for us to profit from this as well. So with that said, today I'm going to be running through the company profile of Romeo Power. Oh, and a quick shout out to my guy Presidential for putting this company on my radar just a few days ago. I think it does have a ton of short-term upside potential, and the keyword is short-term. So I definitely have to put this company on your radar because we could potentially profit from it. So with that said, we'll look at what Romeo Power do as a business, the different services and products that they claim that they provide. We'll then look at some of the pros and some of the cons / huge red flags surrounding this business, because you need to be made aware of it because they're not going to make you aware of it. And lastly, I will let you know what I am doing with this stock because I think it might actually shock you. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video to find out what I am doing with this stock. But before we jump into the video, I have an official announcement to make. I have officially launched my Discord group. If you follow me on Instagram or on Twitter or on Facebook, then you already know and already probably have access to my group. But for my YouTube family, I want to say welcome. The links are in the description below. Click the link to my Discord group and sign up, join up. It's completely free for now. But ultimately, I want you to be part of an investing community that's not afraid to share and bounce investing ideas off one another. So don't forget to smash the like button. It lets me know that you enjoy this type of content. And if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to stay up to date with all the stocks that I'm buying, selling, and all the stocks that are on my watch list. So with that said, let's jump into the video. So let's start with the pros of the company, okay? Romeo Power Technology will be merging with RMG Acquisition Corporation, and the ticker symbol is RMG. And the date that RMG shareholders need to be made aware of is the 1st of December 2020, because that's the day where you'll be able to vote in favor of the merger or not. So if you do decide that you want to invest ahead of the merger, then make sure you keep the 1st of December 2020 in mind. But with that said, who are Romeo Power Technology? Well, they design and manufacture lithium-ion battery modules and packs, which are designed specifically for commercial electric vehicles. So they're not really directly competing with NIO or anything like that. But their three main types of battery packs are Romeo Orient Pack, which are designed for the medium duty, short haul trucks. And the battery pack provides a range of up to 300 miles, and it leverages the existing Hermes module. The second battery pack is the Romeo Apollo Pack series, which is specifically designed for the heavy-duty commercial vehicles. It offers a range of 900 miles, which is quite impressive. And lastly, you have the Romeo Hermes module, which is specifically targeted for trucks and buses, and it offers a range of up to 500 miles. So I like the fact that Romeo have specifically designed their battery packs to cover a wide range of commercial vehicle types. You could say that they are pretty diverse. And I think in the long run, this will create more business opportunity and partnerships, which will of course lead to revenues, which we'll be able to generate more sales from. So some of the other key highlights that stood out for me were, and make note of this, a $310 million contracted revenue and up to $2.4 billion under advanced negotiation. So they haven't secured that. They're in the negotiation stage. And we'll dive deeper into those financials very, very soon. They play a huge role. But they also claim a world-class battery team with technical expertise and deep industry experience, and they went ahead and they listed the likes of SpaceX, they listed Tesla, GE, and so forth. Now, I did look up the CEO on LinkedIn, and he did work for SpaceX for a year and 6 months. Now, I put this in my Discord group just last night because I wasn't too sure whether that qualified as deep industry experience. And Gavin, who's in my Discord, raised a good point and said that the fact that he worked for SpaceX in the first place carries some merit. So I guess we'll give that a pass. But that's what I like about the Discord group. You know, it's great to hear other investors' perspectives. So that was quite good. So the CEO also worked for GE for 4 years. And another highlight was the accelerated and de-risked commercialization through the strategic partnerships with global leaders in the vehicle component technology and battery recycling. And speaking of partnerships, they already boast strategic partnerships with the likes of Borg Warner, who invested $50 million into Romeo just last year. And they are also well known within the automotive market supplier industry, with expertise in manufacturing and engineering and also in technology, which I think Romeo will benefit greatly from this partnership. And they are also partnered with Heritage Environmental Services, who are known primarily for their waste management and recycling services within that industry. So you can imagine Romeo's Hermes module battery pack would be a suitable fit for this partnership and would be very useful for those large waste disposal trucks. And they also have a strategic partnership with the likes of Samsung, LG, Texas Instruments, and so on. Okay, so now let's take a quick look at their customer base. And they do have some familiar names in their customer lineup. You have the likes of BMW, you have the likes of Oshkosh, who were in the running for the USPS contract. And speaking of the USPS contracts, we have a familiar name. They also have Workhorse as a client of theirs. And you can imagine if Workhorse does win the contract, then Romeo Power will be providing the battery packs that Workhorse need to be able to fulfill the contract. So this is again a huge plus. And they also have Leon Electric, which I did look up, and they create electric vehicle school buses. So that's very, very good to see. I would say that they have a decent customer base, but I do like the fact that they are partnered with Workhorse. If Workhorse wins the contract, we've already done what we've covered Workhorse, so you already know. So I'm done with the pros. Now let's jump onto some of the huge red flags. So RMG completely doctored the figures in their investor presentation. However, investors, and I already know some who have already invested based on the previous figures. And I went on their investor section page on their website, and there was no mention of this change whatsoever. It's absolutely shocking. And let me explain, because I still have yesterday's investor presentation on my phone. So yesterday, they mentioned that they had secured $544 million in contracted revenue. Keyword here is contracted revenue secured, right? But investors probably saw those figures and thought, okay, this could have some potential. However, when I went on their website just this morning, they had drastically reduced that revenue by quite a lot. And it now says they only have $310 million in contracted revenue, which represents a loss of over $200 million. However, the figure in the advanced negotiation side did increase by $200 million, jumping from 2.2 billion to 2.4 billion. So again, I posted this in my Discord group, and we were discussing that it may not have been a loss per se, but when you're informing investors that it was announced on November 17, 2020, that they had secured a $234 million in contracted revenue, and you also have it still plastered till this morning on your website, I'm sorry, it doesn't fill me as an investor with much confidence. And the fact that they have done it in a sneaky manner with zero announcements on their investor relations page, for me, this is incredibly worrying and very concerning, to say the least. And it makes me think, like, if those figures were incorrect and not truthful, then it makes me question, like, what else in their investor presentation might also be fabricated, or we could wake up tomorrow and it could be completely different. Who knows? This is a huge red flag in my opinion. Now, another huge flag for me, and I'm sorry if you are invested in this company, is Nikola. I'm not sure how that's going to work with Nikola's complicated partnership with GM, but you know what, we'll touch on that later. But let's go back to slide 20 of their investor presentation. So again, they produced a detailed breakdown of the $544 million secured contracts, which they have now, of course, doctored to $310 million from the previous presentation. But here they had mentioned that they had secured $234 million in contracted revenue from a company called Lion Electric. Whereas, of course, in this new presentation, that seems to have now disappeared from the presentation. Now, it is possible that Lion Electric may have just, pulled the plug on what they had promised. And, it may have also gone back into the negotiation stage. But I can't stress this enough. You have to make investors aware. It has to be on your investor relations website. Again, I'm saying I know people who have invested, and some investors have also invested based on these figures. And again, they highlighted it in bold red. And to be honest, Lion Electric also looks like a sketchy company to me. On their website, it says they specialize in school buses as well as Class 6 and Class 8 trucks, which on the surface seems very well suited for Romeo's battery pack. But the main thing that's concerning to me about Lion Electric as well is that a large majority of their trucks were only available to pre-order. And to be honest, they all looked like concept trucks to me. I mean, they look like animations, if I'm being completely honest. And this is just based on the images on their website. So this is giving me a lot of Nikola 2.0 vibes, if I'm to be honest. And these guys were supposedly meant to be giving Romeo $234 million in contracted revenue. You've got to be dreaming. Speaking of Nikola 2.0, Nikola are meant to be providing Romeo with $210 million in contracted revenue. Now, we all know the situation surrounding Nikola right now, and I'm left wondering, Nikola doesn't even have any trucks to sell right now. Oh, apart from the prototype that they had rolling down the hill. Plus, their partnership with GM is in bits. And I also thought, wasn't it GM that's meant to be supplying Nikola with batteries, not Romeo? So again, this is all very, very sketchy to me. Like, how in the world are Nikola, of all companies, going to conjure up $210 million to pay for Romeo's battery pack? I don't know, investors. You tell me in the comment section, am I reaching? Am I overlooking at it? Am I overthinking things? Now, Phoenix will be providing $27 million as part of the contract, and Lightning Systems will be providing $64 million as part of that contract. They are relatively small chunks of the contract, so I didn't even bother to do any research into those companies. But it is very alarming that Lion Electric, a sketchy looking company with pre-orders on animated school bus pictures, and Nikola, who also at one point had pre-orders available on their animated bloody jet skis and trucks before it actually turned out that they had no vehicles. How in the world were they supposed to pay Romeo batteries over $400 million combined in contracted revenue? You just have to laugh. I don't know. And guys, look, I was going to go into RMG's financials and, their projections, but frankly, I don't see the point, because I think this is a very sketchy company in my opinion. So with all that we have said regarding Romeo batteries, the question now remains, what will I be doing with this stock? Like I referred to at the beginning of the video, there is an extreme amount of greed in the world of EV SPACs right now. And I guess you have two choices. You can choose to sit on the sidelines and, be absolutely disgusted with what is going on and, not profit from it. Or you can be calculated. You can also be speculative and maybe profit from the insane, crazy run-ups that we've seen over the days. I mean, Benjamin Graham also believed in separating investing from speculation, but he also separated speculation from intelligent speculation. And I'll be honest, investors, that's exactly what I decided to do. Yes, I took a very small position in RMG, Romeo Batteries. I purchased 100 shares with an average price of $13.79. And I'll say it right now, it is extremely, extremely speculative, but I think it has incredible upward potential. And with that said, I think it's an intelligent speculative move. In the short term, it could actually reward us quite handsomely. So again, it is a short-term play for me. And I think it's only a matter of time before you have the likes of, Citron Research, these short-selling firms coming out and exposing Romeo batteries with their partnerships with the likes of Nikola and Lion Electric. Just give it time. I'm sure they're going to let it run up a bit more. But in the meantime, investors, I think we could potentially double up on our investment within a matter of weeks. So my plan is to ride the EV SPAC euphoria right now and potentially put a short position on the way down, especially if I start to see short seller reports coming out on this company. Now, I must stress this investment, it carries a ton of risk, and I would say only invest money that you can afford to lose. But to be fair, every investment carries risk anyways, so you should already be investing with money that you're not afraid to lose anyways, but even more so in this company right now. So that's my position in the stock right now, and we'll see how it plays out. I mean, it could completely fall flat on my face, or it could reward me handsomely, but with all that said, please make sure you do your own due diligence. Definitely do your own due diligence if you want to take speculative moves like this. And also before you decide to invest in any stock or in any company, remember, I am not a financial advisor, so please view my content as purely educational and not investing advice. And if you do want to learn about investing in stocks, there are some useful links in the description below. So before you go, don't forget to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to see more content from me. Make sure you join my Discord group and I'll see you inside. Take care. Peace.